Perfect timing, everybody. If you were watching on the YouTube live, then you saw we had to shut down the live cast and restart. So we're going to give people a little bit of time to get on in here. And if you're listening on a podcast that's happening a week later, then what you need to do is go in the description if you want to see the things we're talking about. I'm sorry, but that's the only way you can do it. Podcasters, you come to the party late. Live people, you're here, we're doing this, and we're having a great time already, and we haven't even begun yet, because we know that this is not the Trevor No Laughs show. It's not the Daily Show. It's not the Jimmy Kimmel show, the Jimmy Fallon show, the Jimmy Corden show. And we know for sure it is not the Jimmy Ellen show, because that dude doesn't have a show, and it's not the Tonight Show. You're watching The Right Show. Thank you. We might as well kick off with what I was just talking about. Ellen no longer has a show. That's right. And if you're looking at me saying, Kvon, how do you know so much about Ellen? We both get the same haircut. And when you start doing that, you start thinking alike. And you're saying, Kvon, your haircut looks horrible, and you're absolutely right. Let's talk about that first. I usually go to a hairstylist in Orange County. I've been going to her for 12 years. She's a fan of my comedy, so she wants me to look good during the shows. But I was traveling, and I saw this barber called Floyd's. If you've heard of Floyd's, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments. So I said, Floyd's Barber. They must cut a lot of men's hair. They would know how to make me look really sexy, like a really handsome gentleman, like Ellen. So I go in, and I say, yes, I'd like an appointment. They said, we can seat you right now. The whole place was empty. And there was no men in there, just a bunch of tattooed ladies. And they say they're barbers. It's not what you think of when you're picturing like a, I don't know, you're picturing maybe a New York barber. Maybe like you're in the Puerto Rican part of town in Manhattan. I went there once. They lined me up real nice. But I went to Floyd's Barber. There was a tattooed woman there, and she's like, how do you want me to do it? I'm like, just make it look good. Just follow what's already there, but just clean it up. Okay. And it looked like she was using like a lawnmower up the side of a building. Just zzz. And at one point she goes, whoa. You do not want to hear whoa or whoops when you're getting your hair cut. So I think they should change the name to George Floyd's Barber, because my hair is messed up for the long run. I mean, she put a bald spot in the corner pocket. All right, you can't really, maybe if I turn it, do you guys see the bald spot, corner pocket? I'm half Persian. We have hair everywhere. I might have to do a butt transplant. Take the thick hair follicles from there and put it in the corner pocket, because she took the hair and that's where she said, whoops, right there. And I go, what happened? She's like, oh no, it's fine. And I have a length here, but it just goes to nothing underneath. What is that? Double-decker haircut. Anyways, podcast listeners, just be thankful you're hearing the sultry sounds of my sexy voice, because there's not much to look at this point. But that was an aside. We're not here to talk about my hair. We're here to talk about Jimmy Ellen. Ellen has given up her show. So she says. We all know the reality is Ellen was fired. But they've worked with her for so long. She was the most woke person in the world back in the 90s. And she got her start on the Johnny Carson show, where she came out and was like, hey everyone, you know what's weird? People can be really weird. And it was just so charming and funny. No one had ever heard anything like it. And then it got worse and worse. And as she got more and more money, she stopped being as friendly and nice. And so the rumor is she was very rude and mean to her employees at the office. And you could see in her comedy, it wasn't really funny. She would just go up to people and go, bah! And scare them. And then she's like, ha ha, and walk away. And they were like, Ellen, why'd you do that? She's like, it's funny. Scaring people. You know, just like scare them at work. So makes it kind of, keeps everyone on their toes. And it's not funny. Like, I don't know, dude. That's not funny, bro. So, but that's not why they fired her. They say, oh, because she was rude, and after she'd scare you, she'd be like, now don't talk to me. I don't want anyone to talk to me. So she just wanted to come in, scare you, hide behind a wall, you're coming around the corner. Ah! Now, I think she was probably, this is an allegation, I think she was probably inappropriate with a lot of her staff members. Okay? She got Me Too'd. Because you know how men are at the office. When they're powerful, they're rich, they take advantage of the young girls. Ellen is single and like 62 and angry. She is going to take advantage, all right? But we have no proof of that. Where she really lost her career, who remembers where? Try to think about it. Why did Ellen, who was the darling of the radical left for 30 plus years, suddenly fall like a sinking rock in the ocean? You might not have thought of it, but it was when she had a box office football game. I think it was a football game. She shared the box office suite with George Bush Jr., of course. So that's when the left was like, oh, what are you doing, Ellen? You're supposed to be angry and purple-haired and hate all Republicans. And she's like, George Bush is a friend, okay? We don't agree on everything, but I can have dinner with a friend. I sucked on a hot dog with George, and it was nice. I can do that every once in a while. It's not always, no hot dogs in my mouth. Sometimes, So what's the big deal? Ellen is a victim of her own fans, her own party, the radical left, who eat their own. So, because she shared a box office, what is it called? A box suite? I don't even like sports anymore, so my terminology. She shared a box office suite. She shared the box suite with the VIP suite, watching a football game with the Bush family. The left saw that. Her career has never been the same ever since. You can chart it to that. So no more Jimmy Ellen. And would you agree it is ironic that in the end, it is Bush that took Ellen down? You see what I did there? Bush took Ellen down. All right, if you don't get it, I'm not going to explain it to you. I need you to leave in the comments where you are from and your favorite band or musician. Then I want you to guess what mine is. So don't just write a band. You have to say Dallas, Texas. Mine is Green Day. Kvon's probably blank. And we're going to see who can get it right, if anybody. And that's going to be tough. I'm not an easy read. I look like a boy band member, but I have swag like a gangster. My name is Kvon Moeezy after all. I don't really curse that often. And I played trumpet in the marching band. So you're going to have to dig deep and figure out who is my favorite musician. But I would love to know yours. Put it in the chats. Anyone who wants to play along, you can make a small donation on a super chat right here, and I will try to give you credit when that happens. Or you can visit me on GoFundMe, Patreon, Locals, Cash App, or just mail me cash. I never get that anymore. I want to open it up like something from my grandma. Shake it out and a $2 bill would come out. That'd be awesome. Phoenix, Arizona was wide open, and we had a sold-out show just 3 days ago. So a big shout out to you, Phoenix. Thank you for having me. It's always nice to have a sold-out event. Phoenix already had the whole weekend planned. The comedians were already lined up. And I said, well, I'm already going to be in Phoenix for a huge photo shoot, and I'm doing a country club show, but I want to open this up for my fans who live in the town. They said, Kvon, it's impossible. I said, nothing is impossible. How do we do it? They said, if you like, you can do a 4 p.m. show. We guarantee no one will come. That's a weird time, but it's up to you. I said, put me down at the 4 p.m. Would you believe we had more people at the 4 p.m. than they had on the regular Saturday night show? That is all thanks to you. So thank you for showing up. And if I'm coming to a town near you or have a private event and you want a show, don't wait for the comedy club. Hit me up on my website, kvoncomedy.com, and say, I want to bring you here. I have 20 people, my aunt and my uncle, 40 people, 80 people, 1,000. No amount of people intimidates me. I just want to make your crowd laugh. And I will be traveling to these places coming up. Miami, Tampa, Minnesota, which is Minneapolis, DC, Irvine, California, and Liberty, Ohio. First time in Liberty, so I need you guys to come on out. Or they will never have me again. All right, it's time to show you what Arizona looked like. What does it look like to be a comedian at a country club, then to go to a photo shoot, and then to go ahead and, perform at a comedy club. Enjoy the clip.
Drum roll, please. It's a girl. She's sticking with it. I don't know how it works. Enjoy it. Your first comedian. This guy's everywhere all the time. Not only overseas on cruise ships, he's the last comic standing. You've got a dry bar comedy special. Put your hands together for the very funny Kvon.
Halloween candy. I don't care. I put expired medications. I don't care. I mean, what if you got a Santa tooth put up and his mom would have
Cha-ching! A big shout out while we did that video to Angie Bergeron. Very beautiful name. She threw $10 in the super chats, which helps keep this show going. Now, if you missed that clip, I'm going to explain what it was. We saw a beautiful country club with the Phoenix sun going down. That is like heaven on earth. And I entertained a bunch of people. You know that it was a retirement community, ages 55 and older. So I have range, okay? 55 and older. They were dying laughing. PG-13 show. Why do I have to go PG-13 for 55-year-olds? It should be PG-55. Anyway, then the next day I did a photo shoot. So you saw how, like, you know, I could look with a suit, looking all handsome, you know, trying to look my best, my very best. And then we did a throwback to 2 years ago on Mother's Day. Because how about a shout out for moms, okay? Moms, thank you for what you do. This was Mother's Day weekend, and that's why we sold out in Phoenix. But 2 years ago, we had that cruise ship, a nice yacht going around Orange County. And I talk about that on my dry bar. So what that is there was a yacht and there's all these Persian moms and women and Orange County moms, and it was like 200 moms and me, and we had the best time ever. So I showed you those pictures. And then we showed the sold out comedy show after that. And let me tell you, it was so beautiful to see a room full of people. A couple people wore masks. That's fine. And a lot of people didn't, and that's also fine. Nobody died after that show, and nobody argued. There was no mask debating at all. There wasn't, you know, in California you do a show, and if you show up with no mask, then someone will start mask debating you, and you're like, hey, do that in private with your own family. I don't want to see it. So we did appreciate every one of you that came, and Larry says, I saw those moms, and they were all MILFs. Yes, they were. Not saying I want to get hired again, so I got to be respectful, but MILFs, yes. We have a super chat from Colleen Lay, or Lee. She might go by Lee. Gonna be upset with me. Sorry about that, Colleen. And Social Liars. Double up. Thank you so much. Time to go to the next segment. I hope you're ready. We're about to have a whole lot of fun now that you know my tour dates. I hope to see you at a live show. It's always better than this show, but at the end of the day, this is what we have now until I come to your town. All right, the next portion of the show is one I truly love, and it is called Comment of the Week. Now you're asking, what is going to be the comment of the week, Kvon? Please tell me. Well, I have one all lined up for you. It's hard. I get so many, and it's hard to choose a winner, but this one was very nice, very complimentary, so I decided to share it. Here it is. And for my podcast listeners, I read. Kvon, my wife, son, and I were just at your show in Phoenix today. We had a really good time and loved it so much. Thank you so much for being a real comedian, and keep doing what you're doing. God bless. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So when I tell you the shows are fun and they're great and everyone's laughing and having a good time, you know it's not just me saying that. I prove it to you. And that is what the radical left doesn't do. They will not prove to you that people like the show. They just keep telling you how great it is. Next segment, terms and definitions of the right show. But before we get into that, you might be noticing my new outfit. This is the new Thanks God outfit. And that gentleman just wrote, God bless, my wife and family had a great time. Well, thanks God you were there. And I just got these in, all different colors, all different sizes. Let me just show it off. Bam, okay? Thanks God you guys are watching the right show. So feel free to pick up those items. We even have yoga pants now, which thanks God for those. When you see the model wearing my yoga pants, you're going to say, ooh, thanks God. I hope she's doing some squats in those. And you will believe in a whole new, whatever religion you are, you will switch religions just when you see that alone. It's amazing. Terms and definitions of The Right Show. When you watch this show, you need to know what's going on. Like SNL means sorry, not laughing. Okay, LGBTQ is not what you think it is. It's let's get Biden to quit. Okay, so all of these terms, you need to be up to speed. But today I thought I would do something a little different. I want to tell you what terms the radical left is using and trying to change the meaning. The first one is white people. When I say white people, what do you think of? Well, it's hard to pick what I think of when I hear the word white people, because white people could be Italian or Irish, Polish, Greek, or Russian, maybe German or half Persian. I don't know what white people means. They don't all think alike. They don't all look alike. But what CNN, MSNBC, the radical left want you to believe is when you hear the word white people, you should think of white supremacy or white nationalist or white racist. Have you heard that? Have you picked up on that? That every time they bring up the word white, there's a negative connotation at the end of it. The radical left is obsessed with equality at all costs, not equal opportunity, but everything should end up the same. So if one guy's working 70 hours a week and the other guy's working 20, the 70-hour guy should give the money to the 20 because everyone should just feel equal, even though one is doing way more. So any way they can socially tinker with things, they will try to do so. And if you know anything about hardworking white people, they mind their own manners, they mow their lawn. There's really nothing really wrong with them, but the left is determined to ruin white people. And as a half Persian patriot, I'm the only one who can say this. White people are scared to death of being called racist for bringing this up, or being proud of being Swedish, or happy that their family came from Norway or Ireland or Israel. The radical left wants you to be ashamed of the word white and associate it with supremacy, nationalist, or racist. If I'm lying, put it in the chat. Then they take a word black. Okay? Now, when I hear the word black people, I don't really think much of it. We're black people, okay. Maybe you think athlete, singer, great entertainer, rich, or throwing money at people. I mean, you can go down the list. If I say black people, you could think a track meet, or you might think a robbery, or whatever. I don't know what you think, but the radical left wants you only to think one thing. When you hear the word black, they want you to fill in lives matter. So, no matter what, Black Lives Matter, white, supremacy, nationalist, racist. Is it fair for either? No. Because there are a lot of black people who don't think Black Lives Matter. You go to Chicago, every weekend, there's a black guy who's killing another black guy. Every month, there's 40 dead bodies in the big cities, Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit, mostly black people, killing black people. But the left wants to hide that and instead say it's white people who are out targeting and hunting black people. Very, very rude to start that rumor. It's untrue. They'll say the police are out trying to hunt black people. LeBron James will say it to his 80 million fans, and then we are left with what we're left with. Anger, upset people, riots in the streets, and demanding people vote or rule as a jury the way the radical mob wants you to. So the left is laughing at you if you're believing any of this stuff. It's time you join the right show and the skeptical patriots here who think for ourselves. But that's up to you. So from now on, I want you to change the terms. When you hear white, I want you to think white neighbor, not white supremacist, white friend, not white nationalist, and white buddy, not white racist. If you're okay with that, put it in the chats. The other thing the radical left will do is call all white women a Karen. And that's really horrible for women named Karen. It's a great name. A lot of women named Karen. I don't know how. It used to be Becky. Remember that? Oh my God, Becky. Look at her butt. That's when blacks used to make fun of whites. There's never been a song like, see, that was Sir Mix-a-Lot going, oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It is like so big. Ew, she looks like one of those rap stars' girlfriend. So white women used to be called Beckys. But in 2018, they changed it to Karens. I don't know why. Karens are usually women who are telling on you or not letting you in the building because you forgot your pass and she's never seen you before. They're usually doing like what you're supposed to do, but they're just annoying to black people. So they're calling these white women Karens. But have you noticed there's no name for annoying black women? Am I to believe no black women are annoying, but all white women are Karens? I think there's a small percentage of annoying white women, and there's a percentage of annoying black women, and they need a name too. So please put in the comments what you think we should call the nosy, annoying black women who are filming you and telling you how you need to be and calling you a racist. What term will you give them? I want to read them up. Kenny Powers says we should call them Felicias. I like that. Felicias. Zissou says let's call them Shaniquas. We got Letitias. I like that. This sounds like DMX's song. There was Keisha, LaQuisha, Bonquiqui, Felicia, about 3 Kims. What? I like that. Wandas and Bifelicias. Great. Well, you guys have come a-holes. Tarnishas and someone wrote a-holes. Okay. Great names. I came up with one. I hope you'll use mine. I think it's preferable. You don't have to think too hard. Someone's like, you know what your problem is? You being a Karen. You can turn to her and be like, well, you're being a Kanene. So maybe y'all stop being a Karen the day you stop being a Kanene. Okay. And then you can both walk away. Let's see who likes that one. A lot of people are saying we like it. Peace Out says I'm dying. Sassy Simone says I'm dead. And Brittany says I'm going to use Kanene. All right, good. So watch out for those Karens and Kanenes out there. This show's about equality. We want to be able to title all different annoying people, and they come in all shapes, races, and sizes. It is now time for the next segment, conservatives versus leftists. What do you think the difference is? Put it in the chats. I'll come right back with mine. Conservatives versus leftists. I've had so many great answers and we've broadcast all of them. Go back to my old episodes and you can see some of the greats. We talk about who takes care of themselves while leftists demand you take care of them. We've talked about conservatives who look within and say, I want to take care of my family first. Myself and my family, then my little cul-de-sac, then my community, then my city, then my state, then the government. They should get last dibs at my pocketbook. And radical leftists say, my family hates me, I hate me, the community hates me, they've asked me to stop coming around, the city doesn't like me, the state's not taking care of me. If only big government would come to my rescue, that would change everything. This is a problem with philosophy and the way you look at the world. And that's why leftists and I just don't get along. Never have. In fact, I didn't know much about conservatives and leftists. I just knew with some people I was having a tough time getting along, and other people I'm bouncing around and everything's going fine, like a happy little Labrador in the tulips. Then I realized, when I look back, everyone I didn't like or didn't like me was a radical leftist. Woof! So now that I know that, I break it down for you so maybe you can see who you're not having good relations with in your family, work, government, or local city council meeting. Maybe your teachers that you can't seem to vibe with. Oil and water, conservatives and leftists. Now what's really funny is I'm not even a conservative. I am labeled a conservative because I'm not a radical leftist. And what's funny about radical leftists is they're just mainstream people. Don Lemon is a radical leftist. You wouldn't know it. You see his face crying about racism every day on TV. Then he goes right home to his white boyfriend and makes sweet love with all that racism going on. Anderson Cooper, always talking about racism. LeBron James, 90% of his fans are white. That made him rich, got him where he is today. All he talks about is racism. So that's mainstream, but they're radical. Then me, I'm just a normal dude. I'm considered a radical far-right conservative, but I'm really just a skeptical patriot. So the difference between conservatives and leftists, according to me, this episode, is the difference between heaven versus hell. This is an old parable that I remember hearing back in 1997, and it made me laugh so hard. I was just a little baby, but I was like a laughing little happy little skeptical patriot baby. And I want to see if you'll agree with this. Heaven is where the cooks are French, the police British, the mechanics German, and the lovers are Italian. Mwah. And it's all organized by the Swiss. Hell is where the cooks are British. The police are German. The mechanics are French. Nothing's getting fixed. The lovers are Swiss. And the whole thing is organized by the Italians. Thank you. This is my philosophy in life. Society is best in the heaven and hell model that I just gave you. When conservatives are running the government, the economy, the border, and the infrastructure, these are the numbers guys. The glasses on, notepads. Society is best when conservatives are running that, and the leftists are running the art, the music, the film, and the poetry. Now, imagine, if you will, how that would be flipped upside down. That would be hell on earth, and it's what we're experiencing now. When the artists and the musicians and the poetries are helping design the government policy for the rest of us, and the conservatives, patriots, and middle-of-the-road people are the bigger entertainers now, the more intriguing people to listen to. That is wrong. I shouldn't even be here. I should not be your favorite comic. But sadly, being a conservative or skeptical patriot comedian is punk rock. It's counterculture. It's, the stuff you're not supposed to hear. Yikes. Imagine, if you will, a concert where your accountant is the big entertainer. Got the big bald spot. His shirt is tucked in tight, looking like, Egbert. And imagine, if you will, Lady Gaga showing up for all the important meetings at the White House to discuss taxes, foreign aid, and border policy with the Chiquita banana fruit basket on her head. That is not what you want, and that is a difference between leftists and conservatives. And you guys put in so many funny things in the chats. R. Harvey says, I do not want my CPA rocking the house with his electric guitar. A lot of people say, I'm dying here. Great comments coming in. And that's why watching the live show is really the best. Frederick gave 5 little baby chicklets. And 5 baby chicklets is 5 stars on Uber. We also have to give a little bit of a thank you and some love to a super chat that just came in, and we missed one. They come in, if I don't answer it quickly, they go away. But thank you so much to Mike. This is a Greek name, Mikatis Barfing. Oh, my cat is barfing. All right, fair enough. Not exactly Greek, but it looked Greek to me. The next segment I have for you is a little video portion. People love the videos, and this video is called Biden Says What? Now that is a question for the ages. Every time Biden speaks, I get a new 2 minutes of material and a new 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm the only guy who who, although I would trade it all in just to get rid of him and Kamala, she's got to go package, you know, you got to get both out at the same time. But I would give it all back. But if it's going to be happening, I might as well get very well known over it. So here is Biden says what? You tell me what he's saying. Since I don't know, please put it in the comments. Enjoy.
It's your favorite half-Persian comedian, Kvon, and I am also trying to become an interpreter. Can you help me understand what this guy is saying? Please watch and figure it out for yourself.
Some critics said that we didn't need the American Rescue Plan. The virus stole their jobs. And by the way, the majority of the jobs that have come back have been in the entertainment in those industries. And so, you know, we're going to help schools and children.
Girl.
But anyway, but look, it's also going to take focus. And we proposed, what we propose is going to work.
He can't even read.
We've got work to do. To state the obvious, we have work to do. But look, let's keep our eye on the ball. It's already working. 8 weeks later, we passed. After it was passed.
Today, Junior?
There are over 400,000 schools and daycare centers with lead pipes where the water goes through. My laser focus is on one more thing. I've called my plan the blue-collar blueprint for America. We're still digging our way out of a very deep hole we were put in.
Mr. President, do you believe enhanced unemployment benefits had any effect on diminishing a return to work in some categories?
No, nothing measurable.
That's a good question. What happens is...
What was just said was by far the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life. May God have mercy upon all of our souls. If you like that, I will continue to interpret Joe Biden's speeches, and we'll come up with what we think he's trying to say.
The center has the ball first, and quarterback will say hike. That's when the center puts the ball into the hands of the quarterback. So what I'll do is I'll start tackling the quarterback unless he get the ball.
There you have it, folks. You got to see firsthand exactly what I see when Biden starts speaking, and he'll look in the prompter and his eyes go black. Not blue like mine, but pitch black. And he's like, I'm calling my plan. It's not your plan. You don't even know what you're calling it. Margaret Schneider writes in, I think conservatives have become so funny because they point out the obvious truth, which happens to be hilarious, while the left actively seeks to squash the truth with BS. And that's absolutely correct. Thank you. The reason is, the truth is always funny. You have to wrap the joke around the truth and it hits hard. But the radical left tries to get rid of the truth and just tell fluffy jokes, and it is no longer interesting. And that's what you're experiencing. So, here I am. I shouldn't be here, but I'm now your favorite comedian. What can you do? Lady Gaga's in the White House, and I am rocking with my pocket protector. Next, it is time to talk about who Joe Biden reminds you of. Because I'm sitting there looking at my TV and I'm just staring at it going, who does he remind me of? There's so many people. There's so many characters from movies and cartoons. I can't quite put my finger on it, so I enlist my fans to help me. Please put in the comments who Joe Biden reminds you of. I will give you some options here if you're having the same struggle I am. Enjoy. I've been pondering, who does Joe Biden remind me of? I went ahead and proposed the question to all my fans, and the responses have been overwhelming. I've now categorized them to the best responses and need your help for the final selection. Put it in the comments, and if I missed anyone, add a new one. I will be reading all of them. We're gonna have a little fun with this, and please send it to your friends so they can participate too. It's time to play. Who does Joe Biden remind you of? In the category of animals, we have two to choose from. This turtle or this horse. In the category of puppets, we have Walter and this bird. In the category of cartoons, we have more than one. Grandpa from The Simpsons Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, maybe a combination of the two, or Mr. Mackey from South Park. Just close your eyes and picture it. Okay. We now enter the category of Hollywood. We have the Joker from the Batman movies, or another villain, the bad guy from Hannibal, played by Gary Oldman. And in a lighter Hollywood category, we have Mr. Magoo, not that one, the cartoon, or Weekend at Bernie's. Or how about The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Clint Eastwood? Or another squinty Hollywood star, the Banjo Kid from the movie Deliverance. I told you this wasn't easy. And in the category of inanimate objects, you actually have 4 to choose from. This is going to be very tough. Does Joe Biden remind you more of Mr. Potato Head, an actual potato? Ben Shapiro compares him to a houseplant that the current administration just moves around to hide the stain of what they're doing to our country. Or this sponge. All right, so we're going to look in those comments in about a week, tally them all up, and announce the winner. Thank you for playing along. I look forward to seeing your responses. Tune in next week when we play Who Does Kamala Harris Remind You Of? And Who Does Nancy Pelosi Remind You Of? Tons of fun. And if you like this video, I have 400 more. Most are stand-up comedy clips, but we make fun of Biden every Monday on this channel. So be sure to subscribe, share with your friends, and if you want to keep these videos coming, unlike Trevor No Laughs or Stephen Colbert, I don't have a team of 17 writers. I don't have $12 million a year, but I do have the support of almost 1 million fans online. So if you want to put a little money in the tip jar, I'm not going to complain.
How awesome was that? So you got to enjoy how my mind works firsthand, and I'm seeing a lot of us have a similar thought process. Millennium75 says Skeletor, ha 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 ha. That's who I compared Nancy Pelosi to. If you're listening to the podcast, you didn't get to see. But that is first of all, how good was the beat for that video? And then it felt like the coolest game show on TV. I think they should give me a game show. I would be a great host. And I heard there's an opening on Jimmy Ellen's soundstage. All right. Someone thinks my favorite musician is Dolly Parton. There are 2 things I like about her, but no. Nice guess, though. The next segment of the show is a really fun one. A lot of people, we spend too much time talking about Biden. It's very annoying. He's very annoying to listen to, and it makes your brain turn to mush and be more like him. So we have to cleanse the comedy palette. It's time for a segment that is just, how do I make these videos? How much editing goes into them? You can see behind the scenes what all of this looks like. We're going to go check that out right after this. Behind the scenes, how I make these videos. Enjoy. Guess what? It's like 3 in the morning. I'm in Florida. I thought I would give you a sneak peek as to what comedians do when we're on the road. It's not just telling jokes. I have a whole setup over here. Check this out. I make these funny videos about the towns I go to visit. So I have a whole setup here to record. I've got fun facts about where Oxnard, California. Oxnard and Brea is where I'm going to be next. So, that's the notes I make about the town. And if you've seen the video series I do, it's interesting. I research it. I find the funniest things about the town, or maybe the most interesting facts, and then I just read them out, because a lot of people have been living in that town their whole life. They don't even know about it. And people that don't get to travel as much as you and I, they want to know about these things too. You're in a VIP seat watching the magic happen. Get this camera started right here. And action. Oh, and I run everything twice, so please don't get bored with me. I apologize. It's for editing purposes. What's up, everybody? It's me, Kvon, the most famous half-Persian comedian in the entire world. How do I know? I've searched the world. I'm the only one. Guys, I'm coming to Oxnard, California, so here are some fun facts in under a minute. Start the clock! One more time. Differently, of course. Hi, everybody. It's me, Kvon, the most famous half-Persian comedian where? In the world. I'm coming to Oxnard, so I thought I'd give you some fun facts in under a minute. Start the clock! Oxnard is actually made up of 2 words, ox and nard. Bam! A little something extra for the people. It'll probably get censored on Facebook. Next one. Oxnard is the 7th richest city in America, so obviously, I'm not from Oxnard. There's a little joke you put in there, see? Believe it or not, Oxnard is, and you don't gotta say Oxnard either. You can say it like this.
It's actually the 7th richest city in America. Guess I'm not from Oxnard. There's twice with that joke. Moving right along. Okay, there's a fun joke I'm gonna do. Oxnard is actually at high risk. The city is on a fault line, so it's not. The city is actually on a fault line, so it's at high risk for an earthquake. Then you grab the thing, you go, oh fuck! Okay, that will play easily. We don't have to do that twice, luckily. And I'll get kicked out of the hotel if I keep doing that. Okay, now the camera's all jacked up here, but that's okay. We're gonna fix it. Fix the damn camera. Fix your damn camera! Jay-Z says fix the damn camera! Put your damn hands up! Okay, this is what I do, guys. This is what I do in my room all night. Moving right along. Wait a minute, maybe I am from Oxnard. All about the Benjamins, baby. These are things you add at the end. All right, final thing, here we go. And a lot of celebrities choose Oxnard as a place to get away from it all. Just like Sonny and Cher. I got you, babe. And the final fun fact about Oxnard, my show is there October 9th. So get your tickets and bring those nards. And let's make sure my show is on October 9th, because that is the final thing that I'm not always sure about. Yeah, it is, okay. And the final fun fact about Oxnard, I'll be there October 9th at Levity Live. So get your tickets and bring those nards. Bam! It's a callback. Maybe it'll work. That's a take we're gonna keep. Guys, thank you for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes. Now I'm gonna get to editing, mix, match. This will be ready in 48 hours, and you can say, wow, I saw the sausage being made. Bye, everybody. Me, Kvon, the most famous half-Persian comedian in the entire world. I thought I would tell you everything there is to know about Oxnard, so... Okay, we'll think of some more things. Start the clock. Oxnard is made up of 2 words, ox and nards. It's a little something for the audience. 1/3 of California's strawberries come from Oxnard. So if you've had a strawberry in California, you've had Oxnards in your mouth. Nards. The Dallas Cowboys train in Oxnard, but only in July. You missed it! It's actually the 7th richest city in America. Guess I'm not from Oxnard. The city is actually on a fault line, so it's at high risk for an earthquake. Oh, fuck! Jay-Z says fix the damn camera! And a lot of celebrities choose Oxnard as a place to get away from it all. Just like Sonny and Cher. Beep, 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 beep. I got you, babe. And the final fun fact about Oxnard, I'm coming there October 9th. So get your tickets, come laugh, leave your ox, bring your nards. Be there. It's a callback. Maybe I am from Oxnard. All about the Benjamins, baby. Put your damn hands up. There you have it. You saw way too much of how those are made. I'll never make you sit through that again. But now you know what goes on and why it takes sometimes 10 to 30 hours to make each video. Even a 2-minute video can take, 10 hours if you really get into it. And I'm not even a hardcore expert editor. I'm very good at what I do, but there's people who can whoosh, swish, swash, explosions, all that. And at the end of the day, I just want to get the content out to you. So I hope you like it, and I hope you liked my ox nards. That was a little something for the people. Not little, but something. All right, we have to get going soon. And there was a rumor Kaitlin Jenner was going to announce her presidency or goober. They call it a goober. So Kaitlin Jenner is going to be a goober, running for the goober, and wanted to come on my podcast. I said, I don't think so. We don't really do that anymore. We've had quite a few problems with guests in the past. So I thought I'd show one more video, and if you want, I can text and see if they still are interested in coming in. Just let me know. Say, yeah, we want to see Kaitlin Jenner. But if you don't want to see Kaitlin Jenner, then you just say, no, we're not interested. But yeah, they're kind of pursuing me. While we're waiting for that, I think you should tell me what percentage of truth you think this is. Do you think Biden is telling 10% the truth, 20% truth? You think he's at 100% telling the truth? I want to know what percent of the truth Biden is telling as he relays a story from the 1950s about how his dad saw a couple of gay guys with Joe and told Joe how to think of gays from that point on. Of course, Joe went on to refute gay marriage, take rights away, vote against gays every year after that when he was a senator up until 2012, I believe. But back in 1950, here is what Joe said happened. Tell me what percentage of truth you think is in this story.
Hey, it's me, Kvon, the half-Persian comedian so handsome people accidentally think I'm gay. Speaking of gay people, nobody panders harder to gays with fake stories than Barack Obama. If you don't believe me, watch this clip, many of you missed it, and get ready to break it down together when it's done. Oh, God.
I was raised by a man who, I remember I was being dropped off. My dad was a high school educated, well-read man who was a really decent guy, and I was being dropped off to get an application in the center of our city, Wilmington, Delaware, corporate capital of the world at the time. And these two men, I'm getting out to get an application to be a lifeguard in the African-American community because there was a big swimming pool complex. And these two men, well-dressed, leaned up and hugged one another and kissed one another. I'm getting out of the car at the light, and I turned to my dad. My dad looked at me and said, Joey, it's simple. They love each other.
So, here we have Biden, who can't remember how this fake story goes. He's stalling for time, and he finally comes up with, he was getting out of the car to go lifeguard for the African-American community, and he saw two men kiss, and he looked at his dad. First of all, the story is ridiculous because why does he have to stare at his dad for guidance when he sees two men kiss? But luckily, his old-ass dad came to his rescue and said, Joey, it's simple. They love each other. And he said, oh, geez, thanks, Dad. And he ran off to lifeguard for black people. So now we know he's a liar, but I want you to watch it one more time for a laugh. And also, don't forget to order your pro-LGBTQ merchandise. Let's get Biden to quit. They come in all colors, shapes, and sizes.
I was raised by a man who, I remember being dropped off. My dad was a high school educated, well-read man who was a really decent guy, and I was being dropped off to get an application in the center of our city, Wilmington, Delaware, corporate capital of the world at the time. And these two men, I'm getting out to get an application to be a lifeguard in the African American community because there was a big swimming pool complex. And these two men, well dressed, leaned up and hugged one another and kissed one another. I'm getting out of the car at the light, and I turned to my dad. My dad looked at me and said, Joey, it's simple. They love each other.
Simple, Joey. They love each other.
I'm sorry. I was having so much fun. Here is anyone who said that that was 0% true. Got it absolutely right. Thank you for all your comments. Judy Cabrero got it right, 0%. I really liked negative 0.1199. The amount of truth in that is also the risk of COVID getting you after you have the vaccine. It's 0.000000 negative. Okay, here is why it's a lie. First of all, he hit every single woke point on the way to the end of that story. My dad, not college educated, high school, but very smart and a well-read man. Okay, then he moves on to, he was driving me to get a job as a lifeguard. Your dad doesn't drive you to get a job as a lifeguard in Scranton, Wilmington? He says he was in Wilmington at that time. First he says he grew up in Scranton, but if his dad's still driving him, he's probably 14, 15, maybe 16 with no license yet. In the 1950s? Back in the 50s, you just get in dad's truck and drive down to the supermarket and buy dad cigarettes and some beer and bring it back at the age of 12. So that's a lie. But anyway, dad is driving him, and luckily he was going to lifeguard for the African American community. A lot of big time black swimmers, and who do they need to save them from drowning? Joe Biden. Absolutely. Now, dad is a hardcore Catholic. Joe says he's a hardcore Catholic. He's raised in a hardcore Catholic family. But as soon as Joe opens the car, he looks over and sees two gay dudes, Corn Pop and another gay, making out and maybe doing something else, dirty. And he looked at dad, goes, "What do you say, Pop?" And his hardcore Catholic father, conservative from Scranton, said, "It's simple, Joey. They love each other." How does he even know they love each other? How does he know they didn't just meet on Grindr and pleasure each other behind an Arby's dumpster? Because not every gay guy who kisses another dude is deeply in love. Let me tell you. I don't know from experience, but I used to live in West Hollywood and I peeked behind a few dumpsters on accident. Never doing that again. So, what I think happened was none of that, and I don't even believe Joe Biden was a good lifeguard. I was a lifeguard. You can tell. Just look, you could just. If I came, you would say, "Thanks God the lifeguard is here." But if Joe came, first of all, he dodged the draft by saying he had asthma. But every time he tells you a story about his past, he'll take you out behind the gym, tune you up real nice. He was a football star, second leading rusher in all of Delaware, and he was the best lifeguard on the block. But also he had asthma and he couldn't go to war for his country. So I don't know. Let's just, wait a minute. I am getting a message right now from the people of Kaitlin Jenner wants to come on. All right, we'll see if we can patch that in. And thank you guys for watching so far. And maybe we'll have a special surprise for you right after this. Wow, what a treat. Believe it or not, folks, Kaitlin Jenner is here to announce the gubernatorial run for California. There's a recall against Gavin Newsom, and it's an honor to be around such beauty. So, Kaitlin, I guess you can have like 2 minutes or so, but please keep it short because we are running low on time, and I always promise my fans we get out of here at a reasonable hour. Kaitlin, the floor is yours.
Oh, hey. Thank you for having me. This is great. I didn't know if this was going to happen. I really didn't. But now that I'm here, I seem to be around like-minded people, conservatives, so we're going to do just fine. We'll get along famously. Believe me. So, the bottom line is, folks, you've known me. No matter how old you are, you've known me a long time. Okay? First, I was one of the leading male athletes in the world. Then I was the father to some famous skanks. Okay? And whenever Kim would leave, I would try on some of that amazing fashion she had on. And I gotta tell you, my body gives that chubster a run for her money lately. Then again, she's had a couple kids and I haven't squirted any out yet. The hard way. Anyway, beautiful women like me are used to getting attention. My problem is they got the hair right. My tits are amazing, baby. And the legs, no problem. But my hands are the size of catcher's mitts. And they say there's nothing they can do about my voice. What the frick is that all about? And I'm sorry, I do curse like a man. For some reason, the voice can't be changed. If you can get the tits right, get the voice right, damn it. That's what I say. For some reason, I sound like Dick Tracy from a spy film in 1952. Look, the reason I'm a conservative is I know the basics. How bad are the stupid Democrats when Republicans are taking a good hard look at me? Okay? But I need to protect sports. Nobody knows sports better than me. I'm a frickin' decathlete. Okay? And I know what we need. We need women to have their own league. We need men to have their own league. Then we can have a league for people like me, the X-Men. You think this is easy to do what I do? I'm going to win this thing because I'm used to winning. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on one of Kim's dresses, okay? Which, by the way, every time I put it on, it smells like balls. And it wasn't me, trust me. Kim's had more balls on her outfits than the Lakers have had on the court at Staples Center during a practice. Anyway, I'm going to put on a dress and some high heels, and I'm going to kick the crap out of Governor American Psycho Newsom. He's got his hair slicked back. I'm going to show you what a real athlete can do. I'm going to leak up. I'll tell you what, Newsom, if you're listening, I'm going to leap over the competition. I'm going to pole vault over your ass. And I'm going to head right to the top, bouncing these double Ds on the podium as I beat you, then take a victory lap. I'm going to kick your butt for sport. And let me tell you something else. If any of you are having misgivings about voting for a man, you need to wake up. It's 2021 for crying out loud. Vote for me anyway. Just pretend I'm Janice Dickinson. One more thing, Gavin Newsom. I'm gonna beat you because you're a big puss. And I should know. I have one.
Well, she was confident. I don't know. You gonna vote for her? Let me know in the comments. Folks, that show took a turn. I wasn't expecting someone to announce their campaign and promote. We don't usually do that on this channel. It's more of a levity. We talk about social issues and fun stuff. But hey, you guys seem to be pro Janice Dickinson. And Wayne is thinking that wasn't even Kaitlin. I don't know. I was told it was. So that's what it is. And we also have one more person that decided to support the show and throw in a super chat. So thank you so much. Every dollar counts. It keeps this show running. Obviously, I don't have the $50 million contract that a lot of these hosts have, but I believe I'm funnier. And there's no writing team. It is just me and you guys. So Zissou, thank you for the super sticker. And Social Liars, thank you for the additional $10. It all goes into the bucket. All right, that is our show. We have done so well today. Honestly, every week I prepare for the show a little bit, and I'm like, what am I going to talk about? And then the news just keeps coming. So I think we will never run out of material. Be sure to find me in Irvine, Liberty, Ohio, Minneapolis, and of course, Miami. Tampa is in 2 weeks. We're almost sold out, and I'm not even there yet. That is what's up. Awesome. We don't have any corporate sponsors, no big brands. It's just us. I tell truth through comedy, and I'm here to wake America up with laughter. If you want to keep this show going, subscribe on the podcast. Leave it a 5-star review. It hits the algorithm. Leave a comment after this, and I will be reposting this in about a week so people who missed the live and all the fun we had can figure out what's going on and get on board. What the hell? All right, we have $100 donations that come in all the time. Adeline Cook, you rock. And our under $50 keep this show floating. As you can see, I've improved the lighting. I've got better graphics. I built a whole sauna just to sit in. Right now it's 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm still doing this show cool as a cucumber. And it's all thanks to you. If you want to make a one-time donation, find me on GoFundMe.com/Kvon Comedy. Someone said, Kvon, do you have a PayPal? Duh. PayPal.me/ThanksGod. And I got Cash App for all my urban fans. Kvon Comedy and Venmo. That's all you need to know. See you on Patreon. See you on Locals. And thanks God you're here. Thanks God you watched. And I'll see you next week on The Right Show, podcast and live. See ya. Bye.
Please hang up and try again.